My name is Amy Twig. My business name is Lighthouse Wellness. I provide massage services for the whole family, but children specifically with special needs. What I do now, what I have done with them is nurturing touch. It's gentle touch. It is a holistic way of approaching the body with children. And what I bring out to the community now is not only me helping bring that to the child, but teaching parents and caregivers how to give that to children too. So I also help with educators, nursing staff, anyone that's involved in the caretaking of a child with special needs on how to approach them physically with touch and with nurturing touch. So I moved to Ocosta actually from Bellingham, and I originally was born in a very large city, Atlanta, Georgia, Seattle, Bellingham, down to Ocosta, and I've been involved in business in every one of those. And so when I moved to Ocosta and I wanted to get started with a business in a small area, I was a little bit unsure of how to do that in terms of how do I market myself to a small area when everyone knows everyone and they have known everyone forever, and I'm an outsider, and I needed a support group where I didn't quite have one yet built in my area. So I found the E4E program, and my first phone call with the onboard, because it was a veteran status for my family. My first onboarding was fantastic, and she gave me just ideas on the onboarding of how I could be successful in my area. And I just got energized and realized that I needed this reminder of how to run my own business versus everyone else's business. My experience trying to find a location in Ocosta and even Aberdeen has been very difficult. So there is not small spaces available for rent, especially not within a price point for a small, a one-man show, so to speak, to be able to afford. So that led me to build it myself. Just on our property. We're lucky to have enough room on our property to build the studio. Being able to be my own boss and make my hours and be home with my children that need me is, I don't even know that I could put it into words how important that is, because I can be there when I need to be there. I can integrate them into what I'm doing. They can see me succeeding and thriving and inspire them to want to succeed and thrive. So being an entrepreneur for me is like a no-brainer. Like, I've just got to do it.
Hi, my name is Ken Johnson, and I run Barnhart Home Cleaning in Raymond, Washington. So we started out Barnhart Home Cleaning as a home cleaning service and built a good reputation in town. And so now we do vacation rentals, municipal buildings, businesses, and the like. And it's so expanded quite a bit. So I am not originally from Raymond. I moved up here from Southern California, wanting to get away from the big city, and found it. This is not big city. Being in education, I didn't think that I would be able to find the teaching job that I wanted in Raymond. And so I really wanted to set up a business, and I wanted to create a place where other people could work. And I had never had one, so I didn't know what to do. And I knew it was not as easy as saying, I'm just going to start a business. There's a lot more to it, but I just didn't know how. So I heard about Enterprise for Equity through, I think it was a flyer in town, or a friend of mine emailed me and said, hey, there's something coming up that for people who want us to create a business. I don't remember. So I went to a meeting here that was in Raymond and thought, oh, that's interesting, and didn't give it much thought. But then I went to a graduation ceremony that you guys had in Olympia, and I'm like, oh, this sounds like it could be good. And so going through this class, it's like, oh, yes, there's this to think about and that to think about, and what about this, and have you thought about this, and plan for that, and the costs for this, and the whole global look at running a business is not just setting it up. Looking at the long term, looking at what about growth, what about this aspect, how are you going to plan for that? And it was really eye-opening. One of the things that they were able to make more concrete in my head was the triple bottom line thing. I've always been all about the people and the planet and the profits, but not in that order and not so well defined.
My name's Jesse Foss. Business name is Foss Stump Grinding LLC. My business does tree stump grinding. When a logger, somebody's done cutting that tree, stumps are always left behind. It's not easy to get rid of it, and stump grinding is quite often one of the more efficient, cheapest, fastest way to do it. And I also do mini excavation as well. Back in 2008, I had a drunk driver hit me and on the highway and destroyed my whole life. Lost my leg, broke many bones, all kinds of stuff, and set me kind of back to the start of life again. Living at home, had people taking care of me, and that was back in 2008. About 2015, I was like, I feel like I want to hop back into making a living again. I want to be able to support myself. Because all the while I was on Social Security benefits, enough to pay bills and live life, and you can't do a whole lot more. My legs are my inhibiting thing in life, and it's all like, okay, what can I do that my legs can handle? I was like, I can run a machine. I know how to do it. So that got me, and that started the whole thing, and then it was like, okay, well, machines is not free. What do I got to do for money on all this? And so at one point I went to DVR, and they're like, hey, we heard this program, Enterprise for Equity. They have a thing going on locally where you can hop into and maybe get some money to start a business. And I was like, okay, cool. So did that, and did the whole E4E thing for a year or so, and learned a lot. And then not long after the E4E thing was over with, I actually got some money given to me by my mother to start a business, and I bought a little small stump grinder and just kind of hopped in head first in the whole thing in the business. When it's all said and done, they said, hey, you've shown you've done good for a full year of business, how you can do. We can loan you money towards maybe possibly buying a machine, a bigger, better, more profitable machine for that matter, for stump grinding. They gave me $10,000. I bought a much nicer grinder. I went full bore the whole next year and made considerably better money, and was able to pay that machine off within, I think, 11 months time. 10 grand, I paid the whole thing back 11 months time, and they're like, wow, things worked out great. And so that's kind of when I went full bore into stump grinding there for several years. Well, owning a business just means you can take care of yourself now. There's no more reliant on everything, of Social Security or whatever else. Like, you actually have control of everything that's going on in life, and that's changed my life so much better in the last 6-8 years of doing business. Before it was like you're really nickel and dime and everything. It was like, well, now I can not worry about every penny. I can hop on. I can buy better presents for my kids for Christmas, that kind of stuff. I can actually start investing in things as well towards my future.
So what I've found being in a small town and running a business and working through E4E is that because employment is not rampant here, there are jobs, but professional growth is less available for a lot of people. This is a really good way for us to come in contact with professionals who know what they're doing on how to set up a business, because we can all run a business from our homes or for something that we're very passionate about. And it gives us the opportunity to say, oh yeah, I can do that. But if you want to start your own business, there's not a place here that would respond to that need like E4E when they come in and they do these classes, which has been just invaluable for us.
So my connections with E4E, with my mentors throughout the program, my coaches who continue to check up on me to make sure that I'm headed in the right direction. Is there any support that I need? Providing information on loans that are needed or avenues that I can take is fantastic. My classmates that I was with, having that connection with, hey, are you keeping up on your goals, and are you in this area? And also like, hey, I've got a friend that could use you. I have a friend who is afraid to talk about this. Can we talk together? That I think is incredibly important. But also knowing that E4E is in the background, like wanting me to succeed and checking to make sure that I'm staying on the straight and narrow, going towards that goal, is really great.
Motivation they gave me to start actually to excelling in life, it's huge. It's the spark that really got me going. I think it was like that. It was like I was, turning to turn. What's going to happen in life? What do I do in life? I'm stuck with these problems with my legs. It really inhibits life. And it was like that thing really got me pushed forward to really hop forward and just make life better for that matter. Without E4E hopping in, I think I'd be. It's hard to say. I don't think I'd be where I'm at. There's no question. As far as where my business is at, where my life's at, all that. It really, really helped.